All right, so let's talk about square root method. Square root method is probably the easiest way to solve a quadratic equation. It's probably the quickest way. Basically, if you see that it's a term of x squared equal to something on the other side, and you can take the square root of both sides, you can use the square root method. And so here what we have is x squared is equal to 9. We can take the square root of both these sides. Now, the only thing that's going to change is if you think about it, what number could you square and get 9? You could square 3 to get 9, but you can also square negative 3 to get 9. And so when we do this square root method on the side that's opposite the variable we're solving for, we need to make that a plus or minus. So what we end up with is the square root of x squared is equal to plus or minus the square root of 9. Don't forget about the plus or minus. That's probably the largest mistake, or the not the largest, but the most often mistake that I see. So the square root of x squared is just going to be x. And so this is going to be plus or minus square root of 9 is 3. And so we end up with a solution set of negative 3 and positive 3. Let's look at another one. Here we have x squared is equal to 5. We're going to take the square root of both sides. I'm going to have the square root of x squared is equal to, don't forget, plus or minus the square root of 5. And so the square root of x squared is x. Now there's an issue here. I can't evaluate the square root of 5. I mean, you can get an approximate answer if I put it in a calculator or something, but I can't really evaluate it anymore and get like an integer or an exact answer. So what we're going to do is just keep this as plus or minus the square root of 5. And so our solution set is going to be negative square root of 5, positive square root of 5. And let's try one last one. Here we have a term in the algebraic expression, x minus 2 that is squared and is equal to 16. But it's an algebraic expression with the variable squared on one side, some number on the other side, so we can use the square root method. We'll have the square root of x minus 2 squared is going to equal to, don't forget, plus or minus square root of 16. So when we take the square root of x minus 2 squared, that's just going to equal x minus 2. Plus or minus, and the square root of 16 is 4. Now, it's not solved for x yet, so what we end up with is two linear equations. We end up with x minus 2 is equal to positive 4, or x minus 2 is equal to negative 4. And we just need to solve those up. So we'll add 2 to both sides here, and we'll get x is equal to 6 there. And then on this one, we'll add 2 to both sides here, and we'll get x is equal to negative 2. And so our solution set for this one is negative 2, 6. Negative 2 and 6. And that is solving a quadratic equation with the square root method.